Welcome, everyone. This is a free mastery empowerment course for your empowered mastery. I'm Loren Gailey with acoustichealth.com, and I'm so pleased that you're joining us today because my guests are truly fascinating in the information they bring and the tools they bring on quantum health practical tools. These are physical items that actually improve the stasis, the homeostasis of our physical body. My guests today are Boris Aronovich and Annette Graukub. Hello, Annette. Hello, Boris.
Hello,
Hello,
hello.
Lauren. Hi.
Hi. Hello,
Hi.
Laura. Hello, listeners. It's wonderful to be back on this amazing show with quantum focus. Today, I will learn about other important things regarding your health. Exactly why your immune system get back and how you easily can restore it to great strength. And that will be telling you all about this. And I will be here with the background to answer any question. I hope you will enjoy the show. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, Boris. I'm sure if there's questions that come in, we will call on you and you will interject as that is relevant. So thank you for sharing all of this wisdom. Annette is here as your right-hand gal, and she truly presents the wisdom and the information that you have presented the world. So thank you, Boris. And Annette, we're just going to let you go right into this. I want to welcome you here. You've got some slides, but I want to check in with both of you before you get there. You guys are all good and everyone's happy.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us back. And everyone here is fine. We are healthy and we are strong and happy. And it's such a wonderful opportunity to be on your show again. So we're really, really happy about this. And today we are going to do a little bit different than we usually do, because many of you guys who are listening are very visual. So we thought it would be really nice to show you what we usually are talking about and let you know more about how you can really strengthen and boost your immune system in a very easy and a very practical way. So I'm just going to share my screen.
Beautiful. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. Here we go.
And talk a little bit about how we can optimize the immune system. So what it's all about, it's about the different ways we can strengthen it, because that is also what Boris says, that the best way of fighting any kind of virus or any bacteria is to have a very strong immune system. And the immune system is rather complicated, and it depends on many different things, you know, the hormone system, how your nervous system works, how the production of white blood cells functions, how your thymus and other organs function. So when you understand that there are many different aspects to having a strong immune system, it's easy also to understand that you need something that is universal in its effect. So we live in a world where it's very stressful. I mean, we have technogenic frequencies, we have toxins in our food, we have stressful thoughts, negative thinking can really impact our immune system. So, because what happens is when we are, for example, if we panic, you know, this new virus and everybody's panicking and stressing about it, it is taking the very important energy away from the immune system. So it weakens the immune system and makes us more susceptible to catching a virus. So it's very important to work with your body to keep your immune system strong and do it on a continuous basis. So today we're going to be talking about the Acroton and the Smart Breathe, two wonderful devices which really can help you restore and strengthen your immune system. So the key, as you can see here, is that the immune system needs to be balanced, continuously strong, so you don't get these different dips and heights, but to have this more balanced line. And one of the most important things you can do for your immune system, that is to increase your energy levels. And one of the fastest way of increasing the energy levels is to learn how to breathe correctly. So the oxygen needs to get into our cells. That is key, because when that happens, the cells are being re-energized and all the functions in the organs are starting to work again. But we also understand that when, just to show you the path of how oxygen reaches the cell, is that after we have inhaled the air, it reaches the lungs, and there we have all these little pulmonary alveoli, and these are these adhere or stick to the lung walls, and they are surrounded by capillaries or very tiny blood vessels, and these are the ones that transports the oxygen further to the cells. So what happens? Because a lot of people, they breathe a lot, they inhale a lot, and they don't exhale so much, but they keep inhaling. I think it's really great to breathe many breaths and breathe deeply. But the problem is that most people do not have enough carbon dioxide in the blood. And the carbon dioxide is what acidifies the blood, makes it naturally thinner, and also allows the membranes to absorb the oxygen. So what happens is that in the air, we have 21% of oxygen, but our cells only need 14%. So what happens is that there's a surplus of probably about 7% too much oxygen in the blood. And this turns into waste products. So what we need to do is to see to that we get enough carbon dioxide in the blood. And we're just talking about very, very tiny levels, and already levels that we already have inhaled. So, for example, the optimal level of carbon dioxide is 6.5%. So if the level of carbon dioxide is too small, there will be a smaller absorption of oxygen in the cells, and there will be more free radicals in the body. So a normal healthy breathing is 6 to 7 breaths per minute, but many people breathe 12, 15 breaths per minute. So it's all about how much air how you ventilate. And a quarter of a gallon of air per minute is normal and healthy. But if you look at this chart, it shows you, for example, that most people with heart problems, they ventilate 15 liters or 16 liters, which is about a gallon per minute. And that is a lot of air coming into the body, which means if you cannot absorb the oxygen, there will be a lot of waste products. This just also shows probably all diseases have more or less too high degree of air coming into the body or into the lungs. So we know in the yogic breathing, in the pranayama, you often hold your breath. And this is to increase the production of carbon dioxide in the blood. So they have learned and know how important it is to hold your breath, to learn to teach the body to breathe fewer breaths per minute and to exhale longer. So when you do that, you will restore the level of carbon dioxide and oxygen in the blood, so the cells can absorb the oxygen that you inhale. But there are more benefits to this, and that is also when you are breathing with this little beauty called the smart breathe. you are also teaching your brain, but only if you do it on a regular basis, which is important. Do it every day. You are teaching your brain to breathe fewer breaths per minute. And this will slow down your pulse. It will save your heart. And many people say that it will also prolong your life when you are able to slow down the heartbeat. So it's a natural and very easy way to restore energy in the cells, to absorb the oxygen, and also to balance blood pressure. And of course, when we do this, because we're focusing on the immune system, and everything we're talking about regarding the immune system applies also to every other single cell in the body, in the organs, in the nervous system or hormone system, and the brain, which are the regulating systems, which are the foundation for our health. So this little tool, the Smart Breathe, can be very, very helpful. And this slide also just shows you that how many breaths is incredible. I mean, most people breathe 21,000 breaths per day, which is a lot. So we need to teach the respiratory center in the brain to breathe less and reduce the number of breaths per minute to 6 to 8. And this is actually what Boris does. And it's also happening to me and a lot of people who are using Smart Breathe on a regular basis. It's just so easy. It happens naturally that the body wants to start breathe slower. And so using the Smart Breathe is one way of increasing the level of carbon dioxide in the body, so you can oxygenize your cells. You can also naturally dilute the blood so it becomes thinner, and you also strengthen the capillary walls, which is very important for the cardiovascular system. So you do this with a Smart Breathe. And when you get the Smart Breathe today, which I hope most of you will, you also get an ebook called Correct Breathing for Modern People. And this is a fantastic book because it also contains some very interesting exercises called anaerobic exercises, which Boris created. And they are exercises which you do while holding your breath. So when you do this, you can actually focus on a very specific part of your body, holding your breath, do the exercise, and then you will energize that particular part of the body. But especially doing it with your neck is very important because it helps the blood flow to the brain, etc. But you have all those really important exercises in the ebook, which you get with the purchase of a Smart Breathe. So there's something. So we've had many studies on Smart Breathe, and one big one we had in India a few years back, and it was made on elderly people, and they had heart issues, they had sleeping problems, stress, they had arthritis, you name it. All those health parameters went up. And there was a general increase in health parameters of 17% only after 2 months. So that's very interesting because they were elderly people, and you would think that, old, I can't do much, but that is very incorrect. So you can have some amazing effects with the Smart Breathe, no matter how old you are. We have one lady, she was over 70. She had high blood pressure her whole life. And her daughter bought her a Smart Breathe, and she started using it. And after, I think it was 1 or 2 months, she went back to her doctor for a checkup, and they measured her blood pressure, which always had been very high. They measured it 3 times because they thought their measuring device was broken because her blood pressure had gone back to normal. So it's a very wonderful tool. I wish it's very affordable. I wish everyone has it because it has so many wonderful benefits. It's not only oxygenizing and improving the brain, which is the most important thing because we have the hypothalamus, which is like the director of our body. So it has to be oxygenated properly. But also, of course, any other organs, they need a proper amount of oxygen. It's very, very good for strengthening the immune system. because you are energizing your immune system. And the white blood cells needs to be able to patrol the whole blood and the whole body. So the blood also needs to be thinner. So there is another reason for the carbon dioxide levels to be normal. Smart breath is very energizing. It's funny because it's both energizing and calming. So if, for example, there's a lot of people having panic attacks, and if you have that, just use your smart breath, start breathing, and you will feel pretty quickly how your body is being rebalanced. So it's strengthening the nervous system on a short run and a long term. And people who have had cough, asthma, lung, or respiratory disorders have had immense help with this little device. It's good for sleeping problems, for colds, because it strengthens the sinus part of you. And as it strengthens and rejuvenates the brain, it also good for if you have concentration problems or mental issues. And it's rejuvenating, because when you use this, there will be less waste products produced in the body. So it has strong rejuvenating effect because of that, and also because it is re-energizing you. But you should use it every day. It's a very powerful little tool. We call it the pacifier. And if you can start with 5 minutes 3 times a day, that's amazing. That's really great. And it has like 4 different levels, so you can choose the resistance. And this is the key. It is that we inhale with the nose, for example, 3 seconds, and then we exhale through the smart breathe twice as long, like maybe 6 seconds. And this is the resistance that is creating all these wonderful benefits. So the exhale needs to be at least twice as long as the inhale. Another benefit of this tool is that you are breathing with your diaphragm, and never with your upper lungs, but with your diaphragm, your stomach. So when you inhale through the nose, your stomach goes out. Yes, and no, when you inhale, your stomach goes in. When you inhale, your stomach goes out, sorry. So when you inhale through the nose, your stomach goes out. And when you exhale through the device, the stomach goes in. So you are using the muscles in your diaphragm, which also helps you exercise your lymphatic system. So there are many, many, many wonderful benefits with using this smart breath on a regular basis every day. So I was wondering if there are any questions regarding this little pacifier.
The little pacifier, I love it. And it's the pranayama, it's the yogic technique. And we've got this beautiful tool that helps us make it easy in our life. So thank you. And
Okay.
you know, it's pretty quick. It doesn't need to be used that long each day, right?
Right. I mean, you can start with 5 minutes and build up to 15 minutes 3 times a day. And
Mhm.
you use it while working on your computer, driving your car, or doing your dishes. So it's very handy. So you don't have to set aside extra time in order to use it. So I really recommend all of you guys get this one, because it's very affordable and has so many benefits.
So many benefits with that breath work, the ease of use as you're able to do it. This is good. These are personal devices as well,
Yeah.
because it's your own, right? It's in your own personal space. And so,
Yeah,
um,
hygienic reasons, this should
okay.
not be shared.
Yes,
Yes.
okay. Well, what a beautiful time now to actually physically strengthen the lungs. Have you, some of the reports of the lower blood pressure, but have you heard any of the lung capacity increasing as well, like through blow tests?
Yes, people have conquered lung disease, for example. People
Mm.
who was hospitalized for 2 months, and they were on cortisone medication, and there were no pulmonary specialists that could help them. But after 2 weeks of using the smart breathe, she could use her lungs again. After 4 weeks, she could walk faster and even sing again. And generally an overall strengthening of her health, all parameters. So many people, also people have had, I think it's called in English CDOC, a very severe lung pulmonary disease, have been have had some great improvements with using this. And
That's great. That's
yes,
really good news. Yes.
but also blood pressure now. People with high blood pressure, that's very important. So you know you can balance it on a natural way. But if you are on blood pressure medication, you should always, of course, consult with your doctor how you should reduce the medication and if and when you should. So, and also I just like to mention that what we're talking about are wellness tools, and they do not substitute a doctor's opinion or help or assistance on any kind of medical or mental issue. Just wanted to say that there.
Yeah.
But also, you know, not only for people who have health issues, there are a lot of people who are very healthy and young, and they are athletes, and they really want to increase their performance. So they are using this to increase the lung capacity in order to perform much better. And most people, you know, just after the age of 50, we have lost about 50% of our respiratory capacity. So almost everyone after the age of 50 needs to do something about the lungs. And this is a wonderful little thing that can help you to do that. So we had one lady, for example, she was then 45 years old, and she began using the Smart Breathe and noticed that she had more energy when working out and felt stronger. And then she decided to compete in the National Masters in Sweden, and she won, and she set 2 Swedish records in the master class. And she also tested breathing between the competition rounds and noticed that she would recover much quicker and re-energize herself much quicker and maintain a very positive emotional state, which is very important when you compete. And then we have a diagnostic measuring tool. We can actually measure your biological age. And after using the Smart Breathe for some time, she measured her age, and there she was 30. And her age on paper was 45. And she was a healthy young person to start with. So you can have wonderful improvements no matter your age, no matter your health condition. But start slowly if you're not used to this kind of breathing, and build up. So a few minutes a day, and build up.
Wow, again, a beautiful tool that increases the lung capacity, actually regenerates the health of the lungs with these breathing exercises. It's a really handy tool. I myself have one for my husband and myself, so really cool. Thank you for that tool. All right, no questions at the moment.
Okie dokie. Should we proceed and talk a little bit about how we are constituted, what we are, and how that can be impacted in order to improve our health? So we have the physical body, and most people, they want to do something on the physical body and in order to improve their health. And then we have the energetic structure. Many people today, they understand that we have to work with our energy in order to help our body. But above that, we have the information structure. So the higher up we can impact ourselves, the stronger the effect on the body will be. So if we change the information structure, we will change the energetic structure, which in turn will change the physical structure. So that's why we, at our company, we focus on the information structure. And if we just have a look at how disease develop, is that we talked about the reasons for problems, and the many reasons are stress, there are technogenic frequencies, negative thinking, etc. And all those negativities, they impact our organs by creating tension in these organs. And when there is tension, it's very easy for the microorganisms to develop. So when that happens, then the body starts its fight for survival by creating symptoms. So that is the process of the development of many health problems. So then the question is, how can we help ourselves? Well, we all know, the body consists of a lot of water. And on this slide, you can see that there's actually much more water than we probably think. We have in our joints 83% of water, in our kidneys the same amount of water, in our blood the same amount of water, in our lungs we have 80% of water. So we have so much water in our body. So what happens then is that when stagnations occur after having been impacted by stress, the water structure will be damaged. And the wonderful, beautiful structured water molecules, which look like hexagons or six-pointed crystals, they erupt. And you can compare it with, if you look at this screen and you see the comparison between metal and magnet, how it is ordered versus very chaotic. So this is what we need to do. We need to structure the fluids in our bodies in order to stop the inflammation, which will occur when there is stagnation. So what happens is that the water in the body, all the fluids, the blood and the lymph and the fluids between the cells, they have a charge, a frequency of 1 gigahertz. So what happens is that when we're impacted by stress, that frequency changes, deteriorates. So we have to do something about that. We have to restore the correct frequency of the water of the body. And that is what we do with Aquatone. So with Aquatone, we relieve the body from the stagnation and therefore also from inflammation. And we help the body to get rid of waste products much easier. And this is wonderful for the immune system, as well as all other cells in the organs and the body. And the Aquatone was discovered by scientists in 1995, and or they discovered the frequency of water in the body in 1995, and that enabled them then to create this tool we now call Aquatone. And it works like a tuning fork for the body's environment. So what it does is that it restores the molecular vibratory resonance of the water quite radically, and you can sense it quite easily if you're very stressed. So just to be a little bit scientific, the Aquatone strength is what you can see on the screen, 0.0 and 10 something zeros, 1 watt per squared centimeter. So it is resonance waves, so-called UHF, ultra high frequency waves, but with ultra low power. So what Aquatone does, it tunes the frequency of the water back to health, to its original healthy frequency. And when that happens, all the biochemical and metabolic processes start working as they should again. And when that happens, the organs start function as they should, and the body is able to repair itself. So going back to the immune system, we also understand that we do not only have the immune system in our thymus, as most people think. The immune system cells are here in the tonsils. There are a lot of them in the stomach, particularly in the appendix. So that's very important for the immune system. So we have the immune system cells everywhere in the body. And as we mentioned before, when we have stagnations in the fluids like the blood, it's easier for the virus or viruses and the bacteria to grow. And so we need to make the blood more fluid again to free it from the stagnations. So the immune system and the Aquatone, there has been quite a number of studies on the effectiveness on using Aquatone on the body in order to strengthen the immune system. And one study showed that there is a substance in the body which the cells are using to improve the immune system called interferon. And the study showed that the level of interferon increased after only 20 minutes of using Aquatone. And it increased from 13 to 18%. So it was a 5% increase in only 20 minutes, and that's quite astonishing. I don't think there are many other things in the world that can actually do that. And also, there's a signal substance which helps the immune system called interleukins. And this was also from another study on the immune system and showed the effect of Aquaton increasing the production of these signal substance, which is very important for the immune system. So if you can strengthen the immune system, we really can protect our bodies from catching any kind of virus and bacteria. So that is the most important thing. So what we do when we are strengthening the immune system, and when you get the Aquaton, you will also get a manual showing you how to use the Aquaton. It has different levels and modes on which parts of the body in order to improve certain functions or organs or systems. In this case, we're looking at the immune system. So we use Aquaton under the navel, back of the head, and on the thymus. And these are the three areas which will greatly enhance or strengthen the immune system in the body. And another important part of the immune system is, I've misspelled something here, healthy batteries, is that we have to have enough good bacteria in our body to have a good healthy microflora in the body to protect us from viruses and bacteria. So when we use Aquaton on the body, the inner environment will be improved because we are increasing the production of healthy bacteria. And another thing about this is that most people have understood it's very important to add healthy or good probiotics. And what they don't understand is that most also have inflammation in the mucous membranes in the intestines. So in order for the good probiotics to adhere to the mucous membranes in the intestines, you have to get rid of the inflammation first. So that is also what Aquaton does. It removes inflammation in the mucous membranes or on the mucous membranes so that the healthy probiotics can adhere. And also Aquaton increases the production of healthy gut bacteria. So it's really important to understand how the body works in this case. So it's wonderful for the immune system because when the immune cells can move around and patrol the body, they can easier also get rid of viruses. And when stagnations are removed, it helps so many other things as well. But it also strengthens the hormone system. And the hormone system and the nervous system and the brain, as I mentioned before, is or are our foundation for health. So it's very important that these three systems are structured in their fluids all the time. And Aquaton also is very good if you have a sore or if you have broken something. It speeds up healing of tissue, bone, and cartilage. And as we mentioned, it's very anti-inflammatory. And also, of course, it improves the properties of blood and lymph. It's very important for stem cell production. And there was another study made on Aquaton regarding its rejuvenation effects. So there's something in your skin called fibroblasts, and fibroblast is the precursor to the production of collagen. So what they did is they researched how effective Aquaton was on the production of these fibroblasts, and they found it was quite a dramatic increase of the fibroblasts. So what you can sense when you use Aquaton on your face regularly is that it will be re-moistured and that wrinkles will eventually more or less disappear. And it's also wonderful if you want to detox any organ or system. You can do it very easily with Aquaton. You don't have to do any juicing or fasting or stuff. You can just use this tool. And also, of course, structure your drinking water and use it on a regular basis because stagnations keep coming because we live in the kind of world we live when there's a lot of stress And also just by aging, the body will become more or the fluids in the body will become more stagnated as you grow older. So it's a continuous work with this wonderful tool called Aquatone. And these are just a few things that has been proven helpful for. And we have over 150 scientific studies on Aquatone. And about 5 years ago, we had over 40,000 patients being treated with Aquatone without any side effects. Today, the number is probably much higher. And they had shown great improvements in diseases in the genitourinary system and in the cardiovascular system for people with hypertension, for example, and for inflammatory diseases of the respiratory tract, which is quite interesting these days to know that there is something that can really help your lungs. And also there are some interesting studies, quite recent studies on the effect of using Aquatone on pneumonia, how it sped up the healing process quite dramatically. But also interesting, it's very good for if you have skin diseases. It's wonderful if you have problem with your joints and low back pain, for example, because what it does, even for the bones and the joints, because we have fluids, water there too, it will get the fluids moving, and that helps the biochemical processes also in the joints and the bone. It's very good also for people who had strokes, for example. You put Aquatone on the solar plexus and back of head. And also, for all kinds of things, there are different protocols in the manual. So you can go through the manual and really understand how this tool works on different things. But if you have urinary problems, arthritis, ear, nose, throat problems, oh boy. If you have ear infection, for example, which I had last night a bit, it was really painful. And I put Aquatone on my ears. It took 10 minutes and gone. And if you want to improve your vision, yes, people have done so with Aquatone. Just put it on your eyes. And many therapeutic tools cannot be used directly on the eyes, but Aquatone can. So very interesting how you can speed or you can improve your vision. Skin and teeth problems also very good to remove stagnations, which are the foundation for bacteria growth. So you can use it on skin and teeth problem. There, of course, we have European Certificate for Safety, which means that it's very safe for everyone to use. You can use it on your pets if you want to. You can structure your water and water your plants. Wonderful, to help them grow better. And there was one interesting study that was promoted promoted on Dr. Merkula, his website. I think it was in January. A new book came out by a doctor named Thomas Cowan, and his book is named Cancer and the New Biology of Water. And the interesting thing was that what they researched and found was that they took a cancerous substance and they put it in a healthy cell in the nucleus, and the cell did not develop cancer. And then they did the same thing again. They took a cancerous substance and put it in the fluids around the nucleus in a healthy cell. And then that cell developed cancer. So what he concluded, and what he concludes in his book, is that it is the health and the condition of the fluids that matters if you want to protect yourself from bad stuff like this. That is a book by Dr. Thomas Cowan, which is quite interesting. So we have so many scientific studies on the effects, on the positive effects of using Aquatone, and I could maybe I could mention a few testimonials from people who've been using Aquatone. I attended a lecture Boris held on Aquatone and its advantages. I bought it on a whim, and it's one of the best things I've ever done. I've treated my troublesome neck. After years of visits to physiotherapists and naprapaths, my problem have now vanished. I have also used Aquatone for wrinkles and poor digestion. My friends say I look younger, So definitely wrinkle depth has changed a lot. My skin has become much softer. My digestion has also improved. And another woman, she had thyroid functions completely getting back to normal after having problems. So, and she had problems with chronic cardiac fibrillation problems for 20 years. And it would have been extremely expensive to fix that at a cardiac specialist. And so she used Aquatone and Smart Breathe and also another tool of ours, and she got much, much better. So people with immune disorders, such as ME, myalgic encephalomyelitis, which is an immunological and neurological disease, and it affects a number of body systems negatively, like digestion gets poor, immune system weaker, and everything. But she had all those things, including her urinary tract and cramps going away, improved, skin getting better. Lyme disease, another woman got rid of by using Aquatone. And sciatica, one woman got rid of after only 2 days of using Aquatone. She got rid of drowsiness after 3 to 4 days of treatment. Her sleep is much more deep and restful now, and considerably less stress. Her nasal congestion eased up after only 2 treatments. Another person fell and hurt her knee, and she treated the knee with the specific modes for that. And she did that for 3 days, and the swelling and the pain disappeared completely. So you can see what I talked about in the beginning was the universal need in order to improve things in the body, the immune system, and many other things. You need to have a universal aspect, something that really targets everything in the body. And as we have water, fluids everywhere in our body, this is the reason why Aquatone is so incredibly efficient. So that was really, you know, a little bit of summary about the wonderful Aquatone.
Thank you so much. This is really quite fascinating. It really is a tool that stabilizes the body. It structures the fluids in the body, as we learned from even that book that is confirming the benefits of this. I would like to ask you about, there's a question coming in here about deep vein thrombosis. Someone is working through that. Would you use both the Aquatone and the Smart Breathe for a condition like that?
Yes, definitely, because they're both important. Both tools help the cardiovascular system. So the Smart Breathe would help dilute the blood in a very natural way, and Aquatone will help structure the fluids better. Let me ask Boris also. Boris?
Ja.
Har du några kommentarer om man får en djup trombos i benet? Trombos i benet. Aquatone och Smart Breathe båda två, va?
Ja, de båda förtunnar blodet. De båda. Så det tar tid innan man blir bra, men man måste jobba regelbundet. Ja.
Okay, so what he says is that it takes time before you get rid of something like that, but you have to work on a continuous basis.
Great. Okay. And also, for people who are on blood pressure medication, they can work with their doctor to get off the medication. Were you seeing cases of people dropping the high blood pressure medication?
Oh yeah, definitely. But it's very important, as you say, that you do it in together with your doctor, your physician, so he can actually measure your blood pressure on a continuous basis. So we have a lot of people who have gotten rid of their blood pressure medication. And also, I mean, both tools help you with this. They do a bit of different things, but they are very, very good, both of them, for getting rid of hypertension.
Yes. Okay.
But do it
All
together with
right.
your doctor. I mean, and also
Mhm.
people, my brother, for example, he had for many years a bad case of asthma and
Mhm.
high blood pressure and was on medication. And now he's just, he's lesser medication and he doesn't need his asthma medication at all. So he's really noticing the improvements very quickly. So it's just a matter of using the tools on a continuous basis. It can have amazing effects. But if you want to lower or get rid of your medication, you need to do that in talk with your doctor.
Yes, talk with your doctor. Excellent. Well, these are amazing tools. And in today's world, with the coronavirus and people working to boost the immune system, this is another valuable tool. Um, and again, the smart breathe, because of the breathing and the energy in the body that comes from that, the oxygenation of the cell, that is really a good tool, a great tool at this time. And for even those who, like you said, recover from pneumonia, we saw a lot of pneumonia last flu season. And actually, with the coronavirus, this is a way to really get ahead in all aspects of that immune system. So I do love it.
We have scientific proof on that. So there's a
Mm,
study, if you want to read that, we can, yeah. We actually, what we also have is we have a private Facebook group
mhm,
and there's a lot of information. Among that information, we also have studies, one of them being on that ammonia study with Aquatone. So
mhm.
that's one of the benefits when you are choosing to get these wonderful tools is that you always have access to our private group where you can ask any questions. And it's a beautiful community with wonderful, wonderful souls. And and a lot of information there too. So you're never alone.
Right, and that's really great too if people have questions about
Oh,
really using the protocol of the aquatone and how others are using it. So really
yeah.
helpful, that community that you've built for that. Very good.
Yes.
Mhm. Great. All right. So one question coming in, how long do you use the aquatone? Could you describe a daily routine?
Sure. It depends on what you want to do, really. We have our general points on the body or areas on the body, which we use when we want to do general maintenance, which is under the navel, the thymus, on the kidneys, back of the head. So this is a protocol you can do every day. And in the beginning, when you start using the aquatone, it's a good idea to start detoxing. And there's a detox protocol. So you detox, for example, you start with your stomach 1 week, you pause 1 week, then you go on to the liver or the blood or the kidneys, and you pause 1 week in between. So it depends on what you're doing. And if you're very toxic, if you've been smoking, for example, for a long time, you would need to detox the body to start with. And so I mean, anything from 20 minutes to an hour. But you use aquatone as you use a smart breathe. So when you're on the computer or when you're watching TV, you just, put it whatever you need to put it on a sore knee or on your stomach or on your, not eyes, maybe when you're watching TV, you can put it on the ears. So it depends on what you want to do, but there are protocols for almost anything explaining how long. And the program for each thing is also preset. So you have levels and you have modes. So you choose a level and then you choose the mode, and these are pre-programmed. So you don't have to keep check on the time. But all in all, maybe 1 hour a day max, or less if you're just starting, if you are in need of detoxing. So it's very individual. Do make pauses in between, because it's also always good to let the body do its work on its own and just sort of assimilate all the things you've been doing. So, but it's all in the manual, so you have all the protocols there.
Here's another question. What does it feel like when you work with the aquatone?
Oh, well, if you haven't worked with it before, a very common sensation is to become super calm, because you can actually, not maybe everyone, but many can feel the harmonization coming in the body, because you are harmonizing your fluids, and it makes you very, very peaceful, very calm. And I have one friend, for example, she had some horrible headaches most of her life. And I put Aquaton on her head, and all her stress just dissipated, and she almost fell asleep, and the headache was gone. So it's very different how we respond, how sensitive we are. But a very common first thing is to notice how calm and harmonized you become within.
That's a beautiful benefit. Absolutely a tool to center us and to bring us into that stasis, homeostasis. Beautiful. All right. Well, I don't have any other questions. If anyone would like to ask a question, please submit that into our Q&A. Now is the time to ask Annette and Boris your questions. We usually pre-record our shows with Boris and Annette, so we're really pleased to be here in this live setting. Let's see. Would you like to share any other testimonials from people on the Aquatone or the Smart Breathe?
Sure. Well, I can share one with you. One Boris had a while ago. He was running out of his house, and he fell down the stairs, and he hurt his knee very badly, and it was super painful. But he had his Aquaton handy. He put it on level 2, mode 1, which is for acute distress, and he put it on his knee while he was driving to work. And when he got to work, he had totally forgot about his knee, and the pain was gone. So it can be very, very quick if you have acute things. It's wonderful if you have chronic issues, like we talked about, immune related diseases. There are just so many different ones. People who have not only disease, but people who are healthy. We mentioned that before, have become even healthier, even stronger. They have improved their breathing capacity, and interestingly, they have reduced their biological age by using these tools. And Boris is wonderful. It's a wonderful example of this. Boris, är du 73 år nu, eller?
73 blir jag nu snart, om någon vecka.
Yeah. So Boris is his birthday is next week, and he will be 73, but his biological age is only 43. And this is a living proof of, or he is a living proof on the effectiveness of these tools on your longevity. So they're very rejuvenating tools. And we have one woman, for example, she was very skeptical, and she said, well, I don't really believe this, but I'm going to test the Aquaton on my bad vision. So she tested on one eye, and she improved her eyesight dramatically. But what also happened was that all her wrinkles around the eye disappeared. So of course she had to do the other eye as well, not to look too strange. So the list is pretty long.
Yes, all right. I love how here's Emma. She gave a testimonial where she takes the Aquatone to bed every night and uses it while she reads. So again, that's another creative way to
Yes, it
in
helps
our
you
life.
sleep,
Yeah.
You put it
Okay.
on your solar plexus and under your feet and the back of the head with a specific mode. It's level 2, mode 2, 3. And that helps you sleep really, really quickly, because it calms down the system in a beautiful way. So if you have
Wow.
problem falling asleep, this is a wonderful tool to help you do that.
Yes. So for all the insomniacs out there, or
Yeah.
even if we wake up in the middle of the night and start
Mhm.
worrying, this will
Mhm.
take us out of that.
Because it will calm down the brain waves when you have it on the
Yes.
back of the head.
Yes.
And if you're
Okay.
depressed and if you're very lethargic, you choose another mode and you will get energetic. So it's just a matter of knowing how to use this tool.
Okay, and so we have both of these tools available in a special offer price. That's beautiful. Um, it's a great tool. These are really great. I'm really looking forward to using it. I already have the Smart Breathes, but the Aquatone to be able to use that to structure the fluids in your body in this
Yeah, and you know, the
non-intrusive
thing
way.
is that, yeah, so beautiful because we are helping the body heal itself. The
Yes.
body is the best doctor there is because it knows exactly what to do. It's so intelligent, but we just need to restore its foundation, and then the body will do all the healing itself. And
Yes.
that is what the tools do. They restore the foundation for the body to heal itself, so we can be happy and strong and rejuvenate. Because
Yes.
rejuvenation will be an automatic second thing that is happening when we have restored our basic health. Then the body automatically will start rejuvenating. So definitely, oh, I did that again.
Okay. Beautiful. And so I can also see how this will help balance people in their own self-nurturing care. When we're in a time where radical self-care is needed, this is a really good tool. And as we take care of our physical body, we can also, because it is such a calming effect, that will allow us to spend that time in a more meditative way as well.
That is true, because what we've noticed from our customers is that they tell us that their emotional and their mental states are improving when they use these tools. So it's not only a physical impact, it also impacts the emotions and the thoughts we have.
Yes. All right. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited for the Aquatone. So if you ship it out, you're shipping it from Sweden, right?
Yes,
And so
correct.
it usually takes about a week.
Week to 10 days, it depends, sometimes quicker.
Yeah, sometimes quicker.
We're very
Yeah.
quick to ship though. We usually ship
Yes.
almost the same day we receive an order. So
And you are really good with your customer service as well. I know
very
some
important to
questions
us,
that
yes.
roll in, you're right on it. You're supreme in that sense.
Thank
So
you.
yeah.
It's
Yeah, good.
important. Customer service is absolutely everything to us. And we have such a wonderful community of customers and we love them so much. And we're so grateful for having them. And we're so grateful for being able to talk about these tools to your beautiful audience. It's just a blessing. It's just really a blessing. So we talked about these things. So maybe we should just mention the special offer we have today.
Yes, 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 yes. I know many people are already using these tools, but there's many who are fresh to this. So this special
Yeah,
offer is
yeah,
just for you guys.
sure. So we have the Smart Breathe, and that is regular price $79, but you get it for only 64. And there's also a small shipping fee to that, but you get some great bonuses. And we decided to give as many bonuses as we could, also for the Smart Breathe. So you will get this book I mentioned before, the ebook, Effective Breathing for Modern People. And in that, you have so much information about how to breathe and what is correct breathing and how do I do the anaerobic exercises, etc. And you will also receive in the confirmation email from Lauren a MP3 healing for your immune system, which you can play once, twice, 3 times a day if you like to. And it's from the Tibetan Healing Miracle, which we presented on Lauren's show from a while back. And it's a wonderful, wonderful modality with a wonderful MP3 for your immune system. So you can play that on a regular basis. And of course, you get access to our private Facebook group, which we talked about. And if you get the Aquatone to a special offer $475, and or if you get the Aquatone on the Smart Breathe for a special offer $538, you also get an additional bonus, which is a module from another program we presented on Lauren's show called the 10 Steps to Rejuvenation. And that is a digital program. And we picked out the most important module in that program called the cardiovascular system. And this module will teach you everything you need to know in order to get a very strong, healthy, and younger vascular system. So, and of course, you get the other bonuses as well.
Thank you so much for that. That is available. The link for that special offer is available on this webpage that you're viewing. You can check that out and you can get that ordered, and that download pretty much comes immediately as well. So you can get started. I know that all of the wisdom that Boris brings forth is really his lifetime work, and he uses them in his own life. It really is ancient wisdom with a scientific modern twist. So
Beautiful summarized. Yes. Thank you for that summarize. Exactly. Mhm.
beautiful. Okay. Well, everyone, thank you so much for being here. I want to open this up to Boris one more time and see if he would like to share anything as we say goodbye in this masterclass.
Yes. Boris, finns det någonting du skulle vilja avsluta med?
Jag vill tillägga, trots att du har sagt angående interferon, jag kan säga att det finns inte en enda terapi i världen som på 20 minuter kan öka interferon, immunförsvarscellerna, till 13-18%. Och det är jätteunikt, så det finns ingen liknande någonting.
So what Boris would like to end with is what I actually already mentioned, is that there is no tool in the whole world that is able to increase the production of interferon, this very important substance that helps the immune defense system to be strong, to increase that dramatically. So it's the strongest possible tool you can get if you want to improve your immune system, because of this wonderful effect it has on the production of the substance called interferon. And of course, I want to thank you all for listening and for taking part of this wonderful time with Lauren. So, and also I would like to say thank you so much for listening. And I do hope you've learned something today which will benefit your health and well-being. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Annette and Boris. This is beautiful information for all of us. We're excited. We are in charge of our own health. This is something to truly put in our home to secure our homes and our health of those that we love and who are close to us. Thank you so much, both Boris and Annette. And thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.